Greetings, Slackers. It is October 31st, 2017, and I'm over here on mypanhandle.com with another story I want to share with you. Craigslist Casanova scams local mother by Peyton Low Cicero. And it says here, Okaloosa County, Florida. Each year, thousands of women fall victim to romance scams. A local mother who was scammed by a man she met on an internet site wound up heartbroken but refused to remain a victim. News 13's Peyton Lo Cicero tells us, in her special report, how social media helped capture the Craigslist Casanova. It started with an ad on Craigslist. Colleen Smith found what she was looking for, a great deal on a car, but she ended up with something more, something she didn't expect to find online. Oh gosh, I didn't even know where to begin, said Colleen Smith, scam victim. He said we were soulmates and meant to be. He saw marriage in our future. The car seller, a handsome, well-spoken entrepreneur named Rick Moe, continued to reach out to Colleen over the next month. Then it was just texting back and forth, but first of all, it wasn't very often at first, but then it was daily. It was morning, noon, and night. He was just always there. After a months-long romantic courtship, Colleen fell in love with the man. He moved in with her, catering to her every need. Colleen says the relationship felt like a dream come true until it turned into a nightmare. Quote, I had no idea who he was, explained Colleen. Every time someone snapped a picture, Clark obscured his face with an Alabama hat, sunglasses, or closed eyes. Romantic and catering turned into controlling and moody. I kind of avoided those red flags because he was such a gentleman, the way he spoke, real Southern hospitality. Then the other shoe dropped. Colleen's Prince Charming disappeared along with the car he sold Colleen and her sense of security. I thought, how stupid could I be? How could he get over on me like that? And then I said, okay, I'm going to make this stop, shared Colleen. Rather than hide in her embarrassment, she decided she had to do something. And that's why I want this to stop. I just wanted it to stop. I knew it was a cycle and it was happening to others, said Colleen. With the help of a friend, Colleen created a Facebook page. Quote, help find Rick Moe. Her friends, family, and co-workers shared it, helping her uncover the truth. But I just didn't know how to find him, and all of his numbers were disconnected. And then, when I thought he had an alias name, the only way was to get him by his pictures. Then Colleen got a break, a phone call from a man in Texas. And he had said, I think my friend is dating the guy you have Facebook posts about, Colleen explained. Mo was going by a different name. The woman became suspicious when she found a Viagra bottle for Rick Moe in her car. Looking up the name on Facebook and found Colleen's page. Both women worked with law enforcement and quickly learned the man they were both in love with was an escaped convict on the run. When they did fingerprint him when he was caught in Texas, that's when his real name came up. Apparently, he was using an alias with me. He was using an alias with the girl in Texas, said Colleen. His real name was Patrick Eugene Clark, a disbarred attorney wanted by U.S. Marshals for felony charges in several states. He escaped prison from what we found out. In 2014, because he was in prison in Montgomery, Alabama for bank fraud and embezzlement. After escaping federal prison in 2014, Clark bounced from state to state, hitting Florida, Alabama, Texas, and possibly more. Authorities call him a career criminal whose record stretches back 2 decades. He had all this time to perfect his craft, which is conning people. Basically, this was his life, his lifestyle for over 20 years. So that made me feel better, just understanding that he was a professional at charming people and really good at it, explained Colleen. Officials credit Colleen's good old-fashioned detective work on Facebook with helping capture the alleged con artist and convicted criminal. Authorities say he will likely spend the rest of his life behind bars. With Clark off the streets, Colleen is moving forward. What I want to do is take this negative and turn it into a positive and help females out that are in the dating world right now. She plans to host seminars alerting women to potential scammers and the red flags when doing business online and in person. U.S. Marshals are holding Patrick Clark in the county jail in Montgomery, Alabama. Authorities warn against sharing your personal information in online transactions, never meet strangers alone, and meet in public places like law enforcement parking lots. Now, this case wasn't specifically about dating, it was about business at first, but it transformed into something more. She showed up looking for a vehicle, he had the vehicle. Then he kept in communication with her, and from the communication, it escalated and developed into a relationship whereby he moved in and ended up getting the car back. And there's a video attached to this, which you should watch. This woman is very sad, and it is sad. She was obviously in love with him. And you have a lot of people out there who are lonely hearts. They're looking for a relationship with someone. And all it takes is that right opportunity with the right individual. You sprinkle in a little bit of charm, and Southern hospitality always warms people up. And you just have the scenario for, all the ingredients for a perfect storm. This goes to show you that you can't just allow people to butter you up and charm you up and pour on the flattery. You got to tone that down. Some people go over the top with it. And why? Because it works. And you don't always want to respond to it and fall for it, because if not, what happens? You get sucked in. This is another one of those stories that goes to show you that people have stories. And what was his story? What did he tell her that eventually sucked her in? I would be curious to know what the text exchange was between him and her, what she learned, what she was told. Because at some point, I'm pretty sure he told her a story, she got sucked in, and that's how he ended up moving into her place. Another thing too is when you're doing business, keep business separate and keep love affairs separate as well. In this specific instance, she showed up for the car. She should have kept it right there. It did not need to go any further, and she should have told him, hey, look, thank you for the car. Got it. I'm happy with it. But so far as a relationship, not having it. Goodbye. And leave it at that. But instead, what happened? He kept on contacting her, and one thing led to another. So you just got to be careful out here with your feelings and meeting other people. You always have to be on guard. We always want to let our guard down and be vulnerable and be swept up in the moment and taken away, and good misadventures are always good stories to tell about. But 9 times out of 10, that's just not what happens out here. And people get scammed a lot. And especially if you're an older woman, maybe you are divorced or you have never been married, be especially on guard, because you got men out here and these foreign scammers overseas. They know all about this pattern, and they use that to their advantage to get things out of you, such as money and cars and houses and all kinds of stuff, knowing that you're vulnerable because you want someone to love you. Sad reality out here. Again, share with me your thoughts and comments about this article. The link to this will be down in the description box. I urge you to go back and look at the video so you can see this woman talk about this man and what went down. It's really heart moving and heartbreaking, and I don't like to see heartbreak no more than anybody out here likes to feel it. But that's going to do it for this article and this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Did you enjoy this video and find it informative? Subscribe to the Slackers Method and click the bell icon next to the subscribe button to receive all the latest notifications for when I upload new videos.